You can access the entire episode now on our website, forbiddenknowledge.news, Rokfin, Rumble, and all podcast platforms. You said something that's very important, and I've even just recently realized how important the term remembering is, because that's everything. That's what we're doing in this experience from the time that we lose those memories as an infant through our teenage years and adulthood, when we're pretty much lost. At least I was. We're trying to remember who and what we really are, what our soul's purpose is, and we have our desires, what we desire and to do in this material realm. But there's something more. There's something like a cosmic mission or objective that goes beyond anything we could desire, and it's been put on us by a higher source, by something that has given us these directives of what we're supposed to do in this realm. And I think for me, that's a big part of remembering, is what that mission and directive is, right?
Right, for sure. It's funny. I have this thought. I wrote it down. I put it here. It just says Decade of Remembrance. Now, I do a lot of music. Shout outs to Sons of the Sun. But I really put in, like, what are we doing here? I haven't learned not one thing new. My whole journey. Everything is what we already knew. Right? And the hardest part is to believe so hard into yourself and have so much faith that you are the source. Like, you're the infinite one, and all this was here for you. When you make that flip, that's when it really starts to change. You're not really you're never not a student, but you're not looking up to anyone with your hands up. Right? Like, I just scan videos and see who's talking like me for entertainment for myself. I already talk with my wife, Paula, about everything. First thing every morning, we start talking, and all of a sudden, it's like we had details yesterday, but now today we have way more details about the same topics. And as you go backwards, more details about those topics. Right? So this isn't a race that we're trying to win. Nobody's better than the other. However, when you're in school and it's like pre-kindergarten to college, right? And you could be anywhere in that mix. Well, the seniors are going to be a buffer zone for the juniors who are about to take their last set of classes that don't understand what's happening in senior year. And obviously, there's miscommunication issues. If I'm trying to speak to someone who has a college grade intellect, but zero in terms, or like a kindergarten sense of having any common sense, right? So you're having these conversations with people that are in their own classes in this universe. While there's a graduating class, or those that have graduated as well, they're like making lines, working all the way back to the pre-kindergarten to help now as the wave starts to overtake us one at a time. You have to have something there. Well, but what are we? Well, we have to remember, like we talk about the Christ consciousness, the raw organic consciousness, and this, that, and it's all the same. It's all the same. We're coming at it from different directions. Everyone is source in a body, and some of us are source unlocking the body to be source in the body as an individual, while others are ETs, others are, I've seen everything from robots and androids and clones, all the way back up to the fresh new, brand new soul that's never been here, to those that have only had a human experience and hasn't been the frog or the blade of grass or any of that. People like us have had to do the blade of grass, the writing the code for the actual holographic overlay that we're in. Like, I was there when they wrote the code for Gaia, part of that, right? So there was no Earth, planet, realm, nothing. And then we, a whole bunch of us, more than you would think, we're on the other side going, no, this is how we're going to create it. And then we have to remember, we came in here to have the experience. And then at some point in the experience, which I think is meant to be, by the way, it gets overtaken and you forget the whole thing. Well, to graduate the universe for those that have done everything in the universal structure and then wants to be a human, wouldn't that be the toughest class? Is to beat the deception, remember who you are, graduate and expand in your awareness in front of whoever, not showing off, you doing it humbly, right? We're all going to be able to do it, but somebody's got to do it first to show you it can be done. So then a whole bunch of us decide contractually with source, you got to remember who you are. You're source. You're me. Every time I meet one of the deities, they're like there for me. I'm not there for them. They're not there for my prayers. They say stuff to me and I'm like, they almost deify me. Almost. They keep it where I have to stay intelligent and humble, but I have to remember. And they're like, you don't think that all this crazy is here for you because you're that powerful? Each one of you is that strong that they have to deceive the whole bunch. And I gotta listen to reptilians tell me, listen, we created this place. We were here first. And I'm like, are you made of flesh in any way? Yes. Okay, you know that comes from me, source, right? I was here before you and before this place was created. And they go, oh no, he remembers. And they completely shut down and leave me alone. I've had the roughest shamanic 10 years, the first 5 years, and I was into it, man, Ghostbuster style. And as I remembered, I literally had to remember, so I get beat up a lot. And then I'd go, wait a second, this is how you deal with that. You just tell them, we're not playing games. Source is here. They all stopped. Everyone stopped, and only information that was necessary started coming through. Unless there was an experience where I had to face down some kind of entity to see what level I would be on. Does he get scared? Because we're going to have one walk in the house. Can he stand there without ayahuasca, without mushrooms, and look directly at the little gray ET staring into his eyes? Can he stop it from invading his mind as well? Well, I'm source, and they knew that. They use us as batteries. As fear batteries. They pump fear into us. We start pumping that off. They start eating. Okay, well, let's reverse that. You're all here for me. This is a different story. The party's just starting now. Source has arrived. Humbly. And remembers he's source. They go, oh, this is no good. It's like you spoil the water with the light. Everything is made of light, correct? Yes. Well, then you have all made of me. If you're going to be an ambassador, you can't kind of halfway think about it.
It seems like these entities also are in this realm because they are unable to have the ability to create like we do in this realm. So they have to whisper in our ear and get us to create things that they desire because they can't do it themselves. Am I onto something there?
100% correct. That's exactly what's going on. They're tricking us to create their reality. This is what I mean by you're so powerful, right? So not everybody is a light body being, right? But everyone is sub-source. Okay? All you have to do is realize who you are and stand in your power. However, just like a movie theater filled with all different kinds of people that have all different kinds of talents and abilities and have been training and doing their whole lives from one to the other, some of us are source in the body. It's just source. Here, this is Frank, source. Chris, source. You may be all these other things in between, but when you do the breakthrough, you're like, what's going on here? It's almost like you've already done all this, sir. You are in full realizing you're in your light body. You are the being. One activation is good for the whole universal structure. One human, Jesus style, in the body, activation, not even at 100%. You just got to activate it. Is stronger than everyone and everything in the universal structure. You can bring in, you can take out, you can create, you can uncreate to fix it again, right? Like people forget that destruction is part of creation. So you can say no, and then it doesn't exist, or you don't get to do what you just, because we're sharing space with a lot of beings here.